So let me preface this whole video with, if I was the Orlando Magic, I would want to keep Bradley Beal because he is a 25-year-old shooting guard on a great contract. He can knock down threes, beat guys off the dribble, and I don't think he's done improving. However, John Wall is about to be on a terrible contract to the point where it may be impossible to move, and you may be forced to move Beal in order to change up this whole Wizards thing. And because of all that, I think there is a chance that Bradley Beal could be moved. And when we look at Beal, I mean, I'm going to repeat a lot of the things I just said, but the potential of this dude, I think, is still decently high, even if he is in his mid-20s. Part of that because John Wall has taken over the Wizards offense so much. Now, he has also made plays for Bradley Beal, to be fair, but John Wall has definitely hoisted up his fair share of mid-range jumpers and all that, and I just think Beal's got another level he can get to. And I think because of his age and the contract he's on and the position and play style that he has, I could picture a whole number of teams going for him, but these are just a few teams that I thought of that could think about going for the dude. And the first one is not breaking any news, but I figured I'd mention it anyway. The Charlotte Hornets. Kemba Walker has been going nuclear this season, as he's putting up, 30 points a game while shooting 10 threes a game and putting on a Steph Curry 73-win season-esque year at the moment for the Hornets, as he has them in a lot of games that you would think that they wouldn't have a chance of winning. And of course, him and Bradley Beal together could make Charlotte's offense pretty dynamic, as you would have two dudes who can drop over 20 points, make a shot from anywhere, beat defenders in one-on-ones and all that good stuff. It would also make the Hornets exciting, which may be the biggest accomplishment of all these things. And it would also give them some security in case Kemba wanted to leave. I mean, I'd have to think that if you traded for Beal and it went well, then Kemba would stay. But in a weird world where he left, hey, you'd still have Bradley Beal who can now lead your offense and do stuff. But we have to assume these two would be in Charlotte for the long term. So I think it makes sense for the Hornets to be a little aggressive here. You do have Malik Monk, who I don't think has been great in the league, but he's certainly shown some signs of being a shooter, a finisher at the basket, and a guy who can give you a solid amount of scoring. You attach him, some salary filler, perhaps a first-round pick. I think it's a conversation. What could be cool for the Hornets is I think they could actually hold on to their recent pick, Miles Bridges, who has looked pretty okay out of the jump, so you can still have some young dudes waiting to go. The next one is the Los Angeles Lakers. This one's been getting a lot of traction on Twitter. It pretty much comes down to, would you be willing to trade Brandon Ingram for Bradley Beal? Now, I like Brandon Ingram a lot. 6'10", 6'11", could be even 7 feet tall, can make a play off the dribble, and I think he's also shown some signs as a passer, a rebounder, a defensive player, and to me, he could end up being one of the most versatile players in the league by the time he hits his prime, about 2 to 4 seasons from now. So, the potential's definitely there with the dude. However, it's been an awkward fit with him and LeBron James, right? And for as much as I like Ingram, when you got LeBron, who seems like he's going to be playing until he's 45 years old, it does make you a little bit more comfortable to make a win-right-now move. And Beal would certainly be a great fit next to LeBron for obvious reasons that I don't really need to mention, but just for the sake of the video, Beal's a shooter. LeBron is one of the best passers of all time. You can pretty much do the math. Whereas Brandon Ingram, like I said, the fit with him and LeBron, not exactly the best. There is another element to this with the Lakers, right? Which is the free agency aspirations they have. I mean, look, you lost out on Paul George. Right now, it's going pretty well with Kawhi in Toronto. Maybe you want to guarantee yourself a guy in Bradley Beal. This next one is out of left field a little bit, the Orlando Magic. So, they've got their 3 young dudes, right? You got Aaron Gordon, you have Mo Bamba, who they hope can be their long-term center, and then they have their own version of Brandon Ingram in probably also 7-foot-tall Jonathan Isaac, and I have no idea what position he actually plays. So all those dudes are nice, but you need somebody who can put the ball in the basket, right? To be a successful NBA team, you gotta have a 20-point scorer, and Bradley Beal is certainly that. And he would probably have the entire Orlando offense to himself, Now, one thing you could say is the Magic need to keep on rebuilding through the draft and all that. I do understand that reasoning, and I'm not saying they should give up too much, but when you go into the details here, I don't think it's really that bad. Bradley Beal's only 25, so it's not even like this is a ruin your future for the right now kind of move. I mean, I think Beal's timeline matches up with these young dudes pretty okay. I guess the fear with it could be, while Beal is on a 3-year contract right now, he could pull the whole, like, trade me at the deadline of next season if this team isn't very good, so there is a risk there. But even so, I think they should consider it. As far as how the move would work, I think Evan Fournier could be a pretty good fit for the Washington Wizards, next to John Wall, be a shooter and all that. Now, this is operating in the world of the Magic are not able to trade John Wall. We gotta remember that one. And as far as other assets, the Magic, they have some expirings to make the money work, and they also have an extra draft pick from the OKC Thunder, so that could certainly help them out in a move like that as well. The last one is the Houston Rockets, who have been pretty good lately. I think they've won like 4 or 5 games in a row after the slow start to this season. But I think you could also say that they are definitely not as sharp as they were last season. Look, if they were really willing to give up 4 first-round picks for Jimmy Butler, then I have to guess they might be down for this. And while Eric Gordon has been good for them in the past, been a little shaky this season, and Beal would certainly be a better version of Eric Gordon, pretty much. So yeah, Beal's pretty good. We'll see what happens.